Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Creamy. As you can see, it currently looks like I have been the victim of a domestic dispute for some reason. I just put the mask on and realized that I've been ripped a new one. But I mean, that's not the reason we're here today. Today I have some advice for you, actually. Some pretty cool stuff. Now, for anybody who somehow still doesn't know, I started a band, and you know, it's pretty famous. We get about like 4 listeners a day on Spotify. We've made almost $1 in streams. You know, we're pretty big for, you know, how long we've been a thing. Sorry, let me get a sip of my drink real quick. Oh, look how pretty that is. Does that make me a little fruity? Be honest. So yeah, I started a band this year, actually, very beginning of the year. So it's a pretty good reference point for like how long we've been a band, since we literally started it like January. I think that's the first month of the year. And we are called Flatline, which you could find us on all streaming services, by the way, including Pandora and iHeartRadio for some fucking reason. And we make, hold your horses, this is a groundbreaking genre, alternative rock. You know, I haven't gone out of my way to like figure out what 3 billion fucking subgenres we are, but you know, that's just kind of like the blanket statement we go by right now. Some hard alternative rock, nothing insane. Everybody and their fucking grandpappy does it. And even though we're so new, like not even a year old at this point, and we've yet to drop our first album or perform live anywhere, I thought I could provide maybe some slightly valuable, you know, kind of input or advice to how it feels starting a brand new band in 2024. So picture this, you're living life, you have no idea what you want to do, you're just kind of like, you know, you come home from a long day at work, you play some video games, hang out with the hombres, right? Then you go to bed, wake up the next morning, have breakfast, you know, you're just kind of living life, you know, you have a decent career set out in front of you, you're thinking like, yeah, I could work a pretty good amount, make some good money, and, you know, retire kind of early. And then you decide, you know what? I want to make a complete 180 and change my entire life right now by making a band. Now, as someone who has absolutely zero experience with anything musically related at all, what's the first thing you have to do? Pick up an instrument. I mean, plenty of people just have a random acoustic guitar sitting around somewhere that hasn't been touched in probably like 60 plus years, so that's a good starting point. You know, pick something that really speaks to you. The guitar is a pretty obvious one for a lot of people. The only issue is you could probably find like at least 7,000 guitarists within a mile from you. Like it's fucking, the oversaturation of guitarists in the world is insane. Or if you're just really mad overall, just like in general, an angry person, you want to hit stuff, the drum set's great. And then, you know, if you're a real cool dude, you pick up the bass guitar, like, you know, like somebody in this video right now, me. And you might think that you need some sort of like musical experience to start a band. No, not exactly. Me and my friends all picked up our instruments maybe like probably less than a month before we decided to start a band, and we just fucking did that shit, you know. Dude, we had a vision, and And it definitely helps to have friends that are also interested. I mean, if you have a group of buddies where not a single one of you have done anything with music in your entire life, but you decide to pick some up, you could start a band. I mean, you just find a garage, set everyone up, and just make some of the worst sounding shit you've heard in your entire life, and that's a start. And now that you're in a band, or started a band, or just picked up an instrument for the first time, you have to make sure that you can actually play it, or you're kind of decent at it, because nobody likes a guitarist that doesn't practice ever and then never gets good, and then you have to replace him within 5 months, you know, not speaking from personal experience or anything. But I'm gonna be the guy that has to say it. You need to sit your ass down, put that shit in your hands, and just practice. I'm sorry, it's not fun. You're not gonna be fucking throwing beer bottles at people or seeing a bunch of titties bouncing around on stage within the first month. No, that's not what's gonna happen unless you're already famous. You've gotta sit in your fucking red gaming chair with it in your hands and pluck away for 120 days in a row. You know, that's just kind of how life is. And now once that's all out of the way, you could start scheduling rehearsals. And let me tell you, boy, rehearsals are a fucking pain to get set up when everyone has jobs, college, lazy, doesn't feel like doing it. You know, that shit fucking sucks. You have to book people out like 2 months in advance just to play together once. I mean, if you're the unemployed friends and you're friends with other unemployed friends, that's awesome. You know, just do as much as you can, but you know, you really got to figure that shit out early on. And once that happens, you just got to get a feel for like what everyone's thinking, you know, what everyone wants to play, how they play, if they even can at that stage, and you know, just the overall vibes of the group. And here's the first warning that you all must heed. All right, listen to these words carefully. The friends that you have so much fun with, hanging out with, you know, just going doing some fun stuff like egging people's houses, you know, some real hooligan activities. Oh my God! These friends, they're not your friends anymore. All right, or at least they might not be. Okay, things could turn out all good and dandy and fine, or all of a sudden someone's like freaking the fuck out because the drummer forgot a cymbal at home or whatever. You know, maybe that's just a bad friend group, and if you actually had like, you know, super close friends, none of that would happen. But just saying, like, you gotta proceed with caution. And now that you guys know how to play your instruments, know when and where you're playing those instruments and how you want to play them, right? You gotta make up a song. You know, your first ever song could be, whoo, scary. It's not that bad. Let me tell you, the easiest way to do stuff like that is to just like play a riff, right? Like, just Seven Nation Army that bitch. Play a riff that's like 5 seconds long and say, that sounds cool. Do that over and over and over and over again until you get fucking sick of it. But then guess what? The drummer starts playing along to it. And then someone starts singing, and all of a sudden that riff that you play for 3 minutes straight without doing anything else kind of sounds really good. And now here's a message to all you lyricists out there, all you vocalists. All right, you need to write words that actually, like, aren't stupid, right? It's really easy to write lyrics that are like, I hate the government. Don't be doing that shit. Or if you're like, don't fall into the trap of rhyming things way too much, like, I hate the government. Drag my face through the pavement. I didn't know what my dad meant when he went into retirement. You know, that's stupid. That sucks. You know, singing is another one of those things that's like, it's just another instrument for you to learn. And it's honestly one of the hardest ones because not only do you have to like get good at it, but you have to get past the fact that that's you. That's not a tool. That's not an instrument making that noise. That's you, which is really fucking embarrassing. Like, singing near anybody for the first couple of times is gonna feel like you woke up in one of those dreams where you're naked at school and people are laughing at you and throwing tomatoes while you're up on the fucking stage after you just told the worst knock-knock joke of your life, right? That's how it feels, but once you push through that, it gets so much better. And don't get me started on if you decide to multitask and, you know, thug it out and sing while playing any of your instruments, that's gonna add at least 20 billion times more difficulty to the whole thing. So after all that, you finally have a song put together. Now, honestly, one of the hardest parts of being a band in the modern age, you know, with all the technology nowadays, it's pretty easy to find some really good recording equipment for not that much, or maybe just rent it, find a studio, right? You know, obviously, if you just put your phone in the middle of the room and play a song, you're not gonna fucking get anywhere like that. It's just gonna be all drum set and maybe someone yelling. You know, not good. But you could get something that sounds, you know, not bad at all for not very much. I mean, the bar for entry is extremely low, but that's not the hard part because you could get your music out there, you know, in no time and no cost at all. It could sound pretty decent, but then you're looking around and you're like, brother, there's 3 quintillion other people that just made the same exact song I did. You've now reached the point in your band career where you need to start getting out there, right? And I'm gonna tell you this right now, social media is either gonna be the best thing that's ever happened to you or your 13th reason why. And that's because it is so easy to put something out there and maybe do $100 on like an Instagram promo ad and see the numbers go up and feel great about yourself. But then what? all of a sudden you're getting other ads from other bands, and you're scrolling and you see an Instagram account that's been active for like 5 months and they're already on tour with 100,000 fans. And then you look at that and you think, this fucking sucks, we're not there yet. Which, yeah, no shit, you're not there yet. Nobody else is except for that one person. You really just gotta take your time and temper your expectations, because everything's different for everybody. You know, you might not get noticed by anybody at all for like years. Okay, I haven't gotten that far yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. I am moving you because the clicking noise that's happening right behind my phone is probably annoying. You really can't be afraid to just do shit and put yourself out there. Now, do be careful. You don't want to be a TikTok band where all your fame comes from funny shorts that you do and not your music. Because I see plenty of bands out there that just do the same trend as everybody else. And they have like 100,000 likes, but like nobody actually cares about them. It's just a funny little video, you know? No, you want to be real people and not just the silly dudes on the screen doing, you know, the trend. And now that you're finally looking at getting your first songs out there, maybe a whole album, you need to start setting those damn goals. Because if you're going through this with like no care in the world, all willy-nilly, you're going to be like, guys, it's been 5 years. Why do we still have 7 monthly listeners? What happened? That's because you're not actually doing anything. You're just doing stuff. And all that stuff goes straight out, or straight in one ear, right out the ass, you know? It just doesn't go anywhere. Let me also tell you that finding venues is pretty fucking not super fun. If you're at our stage that my band is at right now, it's not a great experience. You call 13 billion places, you send 100 different emails, and not a single person responds. And once they do, they're like, yeah, we don't have a PA system, you gotta bring your own. And you're like, what the fuck? We don't have a PA system? What? But yeah, that just takes time, and you gotta pester people a lot. Like, just be really fucking annoying. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I mean, to recap, you know, it's really easy to start a band, really hard to be anyone that matters, you know. I guess that's kind of life, you know? And that's my goal. That's me and my band's goal. The band Flatline. We want to be someone that matters, you know? We're going to be selling out T-Mobile Stadium in Seattle in like 2 years, tops. I'll take it or leave it. I got you. Right? That's the kind of goals you need to set. If they don't make any fucking sense, if you want to say like, we want 100,000 monthly listeners by the end of 2026, set that fucking goal. You go do that shit, okay? Nobody's stopping you except for yourself. Yeah, that's getting philosophical now. And once you're big and famous and you meet those goals, you'll look back and say, wow, that funny paper mask guy on YouTube really helped. And I'll feel your energy coursing through me, right, while I'm performing at my big show. And I'll give you a little energetic kiss or something. And if you wanted to help me and my band achieve those dreams, you could go check us out. Links in the description. You know, we've got Spotify, we've got YouTube Music, we've got a YouTube channel with 1 music video on it, and Instagram. You know, everything you could possibly need for an aspiring young alt-rock band. Anyways, I hope this wasn't the biggest waste of time that you've had to deal with today. Maybe you learned something or not. I don't really care. I'm just saying random shit towards the camera. Yeah, that's been it from me. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.